Welcome. This camera. Today, I want to say thank you to everyone that has been a part of my journey and a part of my life through this little screen. And I was thinking about, I've been reflecting on my journey, the part of my journey that has been recorded. And thank you for coming into the live. Can you hear me? Because I'm talking as if the microphone is working. So if you can just put a message in the chat, that would be great to let me know that you can hear me. Um, but I was thinking about my journey, my social media journey, like coming in front of the world. And some of you may have been a part of my journey when I started my natural hair journey. And I wanted to be a part of that movement because I saw the power of how as Black women, the power that we have in accepting ourselves. And the first thing is accepting our hair, because that has been that's a big part of our identity. For whatever reason, for the Black woman, her hair is a big extension to her identity, her self-worth. And I wanted to be a part of that. And that's what initiated me to getting on camera for the first time, was sharing about my hair. Oh, thank you, Mosaic. Thank you for letting me know you can hear me. And that took me on a self-discovery journey, and just an appreciation for myself. Was my natural hair, was accepting the hair that came out of my head and not needing it to be straight, not needing to conform for anybody's standard. And I got to be a part of a movement and got to witness so many Black women have that same realization. And then as my journey evolved into self-love, self-acceptance, a lot of you saw me join a cult. And that was also a part of my journey. but again, the reason why I made that decision of joining a spiritual cult, now I didn't intentionally join the cult, but then eventually when I realized what it was, I'm like, okay, this is what this is. Um, but I saw how we as human beings have gotten out of tune to who we are and out of tune to the earth. And I made that decision because I wanted to be a part of that movement of getting back in tune to myself, loving myself, and also being the example for the world to follow. And then after that experience, I end up having a family, and I end up becoming a mother and eventually a wife. And I shared that part of my life of how to live in the tropics and be a full-time mom. And that was also an experience for me. And now I am, hello, Jay Crazel, or Cree, I don't know. And then I got to, show y'all the journey of me doing that. Like, oh, now I'm a mom, and now I'm learning to take care of a child, and, do those things as well. And so now where I am today, like, that is okay. Now I'm like, okay, who are you now? Where are you going now? But then I asked myself, what was the core thing that linked all of those decisions that I've done so far? The natural hair movement, joining a spiritual cult, becoming a mother. What does all of those things have in common? And what they all have in common is it was my way of my contribution to the world. And that's what I realized. It was like that was my awakening of contributing to the world versus just being a part of the world. I wanted to contribute to the world with who I was and what my interests are. And, and we all have a certain way of contributing. So I ask you that question based on your journey. What has been your contribution to the world? Because not everybody is aware of it. And I didn't really, I wasn't really aware of it until like now, like that has been my contribution. Because the buzzword is purpose. What is your purpose? What is your purpose? But for me, it is what is your contribution? Because that could mean so many things, but what are you contributing to the world by you being here? Because there's a reason why you are here. You're not just here to be in the background. And especially if you are aligned with me and you resonate with me, it is because you are also here to discover what your contribution to the world is. And it doesn't have to be so grandiose as a Elon Musk or those type of people. It can just be really simple. But in anything that you do, you should always think about, how am I contributing to the world? Is this contributing to the world in a positive way or a negative way? Because contribution isn't prejudice. It's just, what are you contributing? And let's look at the definition of contribution. When you contribute something. And I think that social media has given people a platform and an outlet to contribute to the world in ways that most people have not been able to, because it has been limited. Like, you had to be in a certain group or class in order to contribute to the world on the stage. You had to be selected. But now with social media, you get to decide. As long as you have a phone in your hand, you get to decide the contribution that you're going to make. Now, you don't have to make a contribution online in front of the world, but in your ecosystem where you are, with the people around you, with the opportunities that you have in front of you, that is your playing field of how you can make a contribution. And so it may not be something that you think about, but really, that's why you're here, to contribute to the world in your way, to express, to experience. But when you really think about the relationships that we have, it's all about, how do we contribute to one another? Because if we don't contribute to one another, then we're just leeches. Then we're just wasting time and energy. And you know the difference when you have people in your life that genuinely want to contribute to your life versus the people that want to take from your life. But you always want to do an audit of where you are, because we all can have the tendency to fall short. Am I thinking as what I can contribute, or I'm thinking as far as what I can take? So let's see. Yeah. So contribution, the act of giving or doing something to help achieve a shared goal. So we're all here as humans together, despite or how separate we think we are. We're all here to share a certain goal, and that's life and the quality of life that we choose to have, you know? And that's what you always want to start thinking about, or just start thinking. You don't always have to think about it, but just start thinking about, how can I contribute with where I am? So even if you have a job, how can you contribute? I know you say, I'm clocking in, I'm doing the work. No, 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 no. It's bigger than that. It's deeper than that, because you're doing work to get a paycheck. But don't let anyone make you feel bad or make you think that working for someone is lesser than, because it's not. Because in order for anything to be achieved and succeed, it requires other people. And everybody ain't going to be on top. Everybody's not going to be the leader, you know. But I think that the ones that can bring a vision to life and maintain it, they're the most important parts to anything. So, and I think that we need to stop looking at and judging people just because they may not be at a certain status, but know where they're at. It without them, those people that's at that status cannot be who they are. And some of the most successful leaders know that. You know that I can't be who I am without you. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to come on camera to connect with y'all, is especially when you are creating a life that you want to have, your mindset needs to be, okay, what am I contributing to this life that I'm creating? It's all about contributions, all about what you can give to the life that you are living. I know there's so many people that we see are about what can I take, but it's really about what can I give. And this is something that I I go through different phases of this. And like where I am right now, I feel like I'm at a wall. Like, okay, with all the things that you have done over the years and the things that you've learned and your experiences, or where you are now, what is the goal? Because it's not about, oh, that happened and I am now trying to create a new life. No, all of those things that happened in my life is the recipe of helping me create the life that I want to have and be the person that I want to be at this point. They all contribute. All those experiences contribute. So when you think about all the experiences that you went through, they're a contribution of helping you create the life that you want to have. And maybe you're living it. I don't know. Do you think that you are living the life that you have been creating in your mind? Does anybody want to share? Because most people are not creating life, they're just existing. They're just existing. And that might be fine for some people. Um, but for me, it's like life is so much more fun when I'm creating and I'm aware and I'm contributing. And when I'm not doing those things, I don't feel good about myself. It's like I don't want to just be shut up in my house living a soft life in the end. It's like no, I love playing the game of life. And the game that I played has been very interesting, to say the least, but it's always been about what I can contribute. Like that's what I realized. It's like I'm figuring out who I am. I'm learning to love myself, and I'm going to show that to the world. And yes, I've gotten judged tremendously and still get judged. But it's just like I'm figuring out how to love myself, and I know that it requires self mastery and self actualization and self accountability. And it's been very interesting, to say the least. Okay, so since we don't have anything else to say, because I just wanted to come on here and just share that. And yeah, I just want to thank everybody I just want to thank you, especially you, for being here um, on my journey. And I am, I want to open and expand who I am, and I want to be of service. And that's the thing that I am taking the time to work on, is with the contribution. It's like now what do I want to do now, and what do I want to talk about now. And I'm not opposed to talking about my past, because those were my experiences, but based on my past, it's like, what is my contribution now? Like, what do I want to focus on now? What do I want to build now and create now, and provide for my audience and for my potential clients? Because this is something that I want to do as a business. Like, I want to be able to work for myself and provide value through my experience and my wisdom to guide and support people where they are, because I realized that the experiences that I have are not normal, but I know that they weren't supposed to be, so that I could get a vast perspective, um, to be able to be a guide, because I'm curious about people that ain't never really been through anything, but they try to tell you what you need to be doing, you know. But I just know for me, my life has been very colorful, and I went through a lot of things, and I continue to go through some things. Um, but I know that it's for my contribution for me to be able to experience darkness and alchemize it into light, so that I can help and guide other people to do that as well for their life. Um, and so that's what I'm working on, and I wanted to share that with my audience, because my people tell me, you need to write a book, you need to do these things. I'm like, okay, cool. I would love for people to be a part of that process for me, um, and to support me in doing those things. But I also want to be of value to people in many ways, even if it's through one-on-one. Oh, good. What was food for thought, Jay? What part did I say that was food for thought for you? I would love to know. But yeah, that's what I want to do. And so I'm coming to my community and share, like, this is what I want to do, because two of the things that I know that I'm good at is relationship, like giving guidance. I ain't gonna say I'm good at relationships. I'm not gonna say that. But what I'm good at, gift, I believe, my value is helping people have another perspective and gain understanding in their relationships, especially the dynamic between the adult child and the parent, because I have been able to heal and mend the relationship I have with my mother. And I had an estranged relationship with her for over 30 years. And I have been able to forgive her and build a new relationship with her. And even with my family, like, I went no contact with my family. And now it's like I have been able to heal and mend that. And I know so many people don't know how to do that. They want to do it, but they don't know how. And then even like with the relationship between man and woman, like, I had a vast perspective on that and understanding that I do think that could mend a lot of relationships, or at least bring clarity to it. So I know that that is two of my values and what I want to offer, because relationships is one of the biggest things that is required in creating a life that you want. And that is one of the biggest things that people struggle with. So it doesn't matter if it's a significant other, or if it's a platonic friendship, or if it's family. This is the main thing that people have issues with. But okay, and Jay said just figuring out how to contribute, always trying to find my purpose. Yeah, yeah. And I'm glad that this has given you food for thought, because figuring out what your contribution is, and trying to find your purpose is the number one thing that's going to help you do that, is the people. And I remember I used to say that you're not supposed to find your purpose, you are your purpose. Yeah, you are, but you are here to find it, to seek it. This is why we call ourselves truth seekers, because you are here to seek the truth. The truth ain't going to just be here right in front of your face. You have to look for it. And this is why many of us break away from our families, break away from what's normal, because you are seeking the truth. And you can't and you're not going to find the truth to what you're familiar and comfortable with. You will not find the truth in that. You're going to have to leave that to then go off and seek to then gain understanding of that. Hey, Libby. I have a aunt on my dad's side. Her name is Libby. Her name is Elizabeth, but Libby. So even with finding your purpose, like you have to keep seeking, you have to keep learning, because that's how you're going to understand yourself and find yourself. But so you don't want to get comfortable in the information that and that's what I realized. The reason why I'm at a standstill of my life, or at least I feel like I'm at a standstill, because all the information that I know up to this point cannot take me to the next level of my life. So the information does get outdated, but the most important thing in a person's life is their education and the information that they're exposed to. And a majority of the information out here, I'm going to tell you right now, is BS. Most people don't know what they're talking about. But in order for you to know that, you got to take the time to educate yourself and to get exposed to the truth. Then you will know, like, oh my gosh, like what? Like, but you ain't gonna know until you decide to know. And that's where I feel like I'm at. I'm like, okay, all the information that I've learned this up to this point, okay, it got me here and I'm here, but it's just like, now what? And it's just like, keep seeking, keep learning. And it's so easy to get comfortable in your life and be like, oh, I've arrived now. And it's just like, no, you have not. You're there, you're here, you're at the top of this mountain, but now you gotta go down, and now you gotta keep moving, and it's a balance, because it's not like you're just always chasing something. But if you are here to create your life, it's a ongoing, like what they say, it's a never ending story. It's a never ending story until the day that you no longer have breath in your body. You should never think that what you know is enough, because it's enough to get you where you're at. And if you're fine with that and you're complacent with that, okay, cool. But if you're here on my channel, on my platform, this is about growth. It's about self-actualization, self-mastery. And it's an ongoing thing. Like if you go into the gym and you're working your muscle, you can't think, oh, then you reached your goal, that now you can just go and just eat cookies, cakes, and pies and not go to the gym. Once you start working that muscle and you define it, you got to keep working that muscle. You got to keep on at it. And that's how the mind works. That's how your purpose is, your purpose, your contribution. But I like to say contribution, because that's essentially what we're talking about. Because when you say purpose, it can mean so many things to so many people. But when you say contribution, what is your contribution to your existence? And that could just mean as simple as the people in your home. Okay? It's like anything you do, it's like you're contributing to life itself. Okay? So taking the time to listen to someone as they talk, being a good listener, that is a good contribution. You know how many people don't know how to listen? Always trying to find. And we said, I definitely had to separate myself. Yeah, and I do think that's a part of the process. You have to separate yourself, like for real. I just, and I know that to be true from my experience, that the best thing that I could have done in my life was separating myself from the reality that I knew and was comfortable with. Okay. Like I knew that was the best thing. But then at some point I had to integrate what I learned and come back into to the people in my life. And you don't have to, but for me and my experience, I'm happy to reconnect back to where I came from. And y'all, I want to say one thing. I have a desk because I was like, I am taking myself seriously because I'm in my bedroom, and that's our extra mattress. Well, hold on. This camera's battery. Anyways, I'm in my bedroom, but I was like, I want to take myself seriously. I need an office. And my husband has an office downstairs. And I told him, I said, now I see why you have an office, because it just makes you take what you're doing seriously. Because I can be on my bed and do this, but I don't want to be sitting on my bed. My bed is for sleeping. And so I end up buying me a little desk, and it's nothing fancy, just enough to put my laptop and put my phone. If I need to put a book or do some work on it, it's big enough. It's like, you got to take your life seriously. Your life has to matter to you. And if you want to make a contribution to the world, you first must make that contribution to yourself. How often? So let's get into it. In order for you to contribute to anyone, you first must contribute to yourself. How are you contributing to yourself every day? How are you contributing to yourself? What's the one contribution that you do for yourself every day? Yes. I'll ask y'all that question. What is the one contribution that you give yourself? Because anything that you think that you're supposed to be giving to the world or giving to the people in your life, it starts with you. Make a contribution to your life, to your existence. And the more that you start making the contribution to yourself, that is going to ripple into the world, to the people around you. Okay? And look up the definition purpose. And what is your purpose? What is your purpose? It's like, it's like the reason for which something is done, created, or exists. You see what I'm saying? So that's what your purpose is. So you are looking for the reason why which you are here, why you were created, and why you even exist. So the way that you find your purpose is through self-mastery, self-discovery, and self-accountability. You must take the time. Your life must be focused on you in order for you to find your purpose. Okay? And when you do that, it's going to ripple out into the world. But then when you find your purpose, which when you take the time to know yourself and love yourself and understand yourself, then that will be the contribution that you give to the world. But how can you know your purpose when you do not understand who you are? You must take the time to understand yourself in all the different levels, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, like all the different things. You must take the time to understand who you are in order to know why you even exist. And this is the journey. This is the journey. Like, there's so many, like who I was back in 2017, that person has evolved into 2026. And all the information that I've learned thus far, the new information I'm receiving. So this is what I mean by the information. It should, the new information that you are going to be receiving should solidify all the information that you've learned, but then give you new clarity on why you learned it. and why it was the information that you resonate. The information that you continue to learn and consume should always be giving you new clarity and new direction. And if it does not give you clarity, if it does not give you direction, that is wasted information. Information is your fuel, it is your food, and it should always be giving you clarity and direction. The information so then that way it'll get you closer to you knowing who you are, which is knowing your purpose. And then when you can do that confidently, now you know what you can contribute to the world. This is why so many people are takers and they're consumers, because they don't know who they are, they don't understand, and they're basing it on the information. So the information that they have, it's allowing them to take because they're deficient. So your information should not make you deficient or depending on someone else. Your information should bring you clarity and direction. So this is why most people are consumers. And I think about contributing. They want to consume, but that's based what? On the information and the understanding of who they are. That's it. So when you know that, you can understand why people do what they do, because it's based on the information and the knowledge and understanding of who they think they are. So when you have yourself around people that lack knowledge of self and understanding, then this is why the people around you are harmful and depleting. And they're not bringing any value to your life. It's not because they're bad people. It's because they lack understanding of who they are. And you have to be very mindful with those type of people, especially when you are on the journey of self. You're also going to start understanding why people do what they do. Yeah. Okay, Libby said, I love myself first. That's my contribution. Also give love and respect to others. Yes. Being the best person I can be in all circumstances. Yes. And then that's the start, because then you want to get clear. Well, how do you know you're loving yourself in that moment? How do you know you're being the best person? What does that look like? So that you know that's what you're doing. Because like I said, it should be given direction, because when we hear these things, it can mean many things to many people. But just get it even more clear about what loving yourself looks like and what being your best version of yourself looks like. And like I said, those two things, when I hear those two things, what that sounds like to me is that I'm giving myself the right information that allows me to love myself, that allows me to be the best person. Feeding my mind, feeding my soul. Okay? Creating a standard for my life so that I can do those things for myself. Because when you don't have certain standards and systems in place, you won't be able to do those things that you're talking about, because you won't even know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because some people think loving themselves is just always saying, never getting in type of conflict or just being alone, and they think that's loving themselves. So being able to articulate that and understand it is even better. And I know that to be true for myself, because that's what I've done. I gotten more clear about what that means. What you did? Okay, you can come in. I'm just talking to the tribe. Okay, so what did you draw today?
It's for you.
Oh, you drew me a picture. So is that the airplane?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the clouds.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my name. It says for mommy. Mm-hmm. And what's that? The steps to get on the plane?
No, it's the passengers. And then that's the rocket.
Oh, those are the people?
Those are the people inside.
No, but what is this?
Those are stabilizers.
Oh, okay, the stabilizers.
And that's the big jet.
And that's the big jet. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
There's more.
Oh, you got more pictures for me. Oh, well, let's show the people what you drew for me. This is what I don't think y'all. Zen drew this. He's really good at drawing. He drew that. Okay. Oh, wow. This is a big jet.
The world's biggest plane.
Yeah, that really is the world's biggest plane. Yeah, wow.
I think I drew most KLMs. I even drew a UPS.
You drew a UPS?
To remember when we went to UPS and
Yeah.
went there.
Yeah, we went to UPS. Oh, he loves drawing airplanes. Yeah. I like traveling with you, Zen. Is there anything else you want to show me?
And then there's another one.
Nice.
It's not that big. It's still big. And
It's
then,
still big.
And then those are the little cargo.
Does that has the luggage?
Mm-hmm. I didn't have enough. I didn't want to draw it.
Nice.
This plane already got luggage. There's UPS everywhere.
Look, and they said, "Awesome job. You like your pictures."
And then this one had luggage.
Mm-hmm.
And then that one already had luggage.
Yeah.
And then this was you.
Oh, that's you drew me. Oh, nice. Is that my necklace?
I think so.
What is that?
It's a necklace.
Yeah.
And then your hair's.
He drew me, y'all. Nice.
Well, look, quite the arts.
Yes, quite the artist. Mm-hmm. Nice.
Good afternoon, Queen. Thank you. Definitely.
Yeah, they're just chatting. Yeah, they say keep up the good work. Keep drawing.
And then there's.
Is that an animal?
No, it's the little jet.
Oh, that's a jet.
Uh-huh. And then that's the thing.
This is a little bitty jet. Aww.
And then I drew this one a long time ago.
You drew that a long time ago? Nice. Yep. Mm-hmm.
You got it?
Yep. It's upside down. This is really good, Zen. You've been working hard. You've been working real hard. Mm-hmm.
They can't.
Yeah.
And then there's other planes in the sky. Then free luggage.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are KLM.
Okay. All right, thank you for sharing. I'm gonna come down there in a few minutes. You ready to eat some more food? Okay. I'm not sure.
Spaghetti?
No, I'm talking about like bacon, eggs, fruit, pancakes, maybe. I don't know. You want pancakes? Okay. Okay, pancakes, bacon, and eggs. Okay. He's not gonna let me display that. He is going. He just likes to draw, and yeah, I don't know what he's gonna do with any of that. Because we have a refrigerator, and we don't have any way to put that stuff up there. But I just like to encourage him to draw and play because he does use a tablet. Like we let him have screen time, but I notice like because I allow him to just have it, like he doesn't always use it. Like so, this is something that he started recently doing is drawing more. Like I used to buy him coloring books. And he wasn't really a coloring book kid. And I was really disappointed in that because I loved coloring books. But he wasn't really into coloring books. And I would like buy him like arts and crafts, like paints and pencils and markers. And he just wasn't into that. I mean, he would do it, but he wasn't into it. So I was just like, okay, maybe he's not as artistic. He likes building things and taking things apart. But recently, and he's 7 years old. Recently, he started drawing and writing. And I think that has a lot to do with school. And so now that we're not doing school right now, we're taking a break. Like I noticed that he's writing more and he's drawing more. Yeah. And he's reading more. And that's without me having to do any of that. So I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Because homeschooling him was so hard, y'all. In the start of it when I really committed to homeschooling Zen, oh my God, it was so hard. It was like I probably cried every other day because it was such a challenge. And it was just a lot. It was just hard. And I started homeschooling him when he was 5 going on to 6. And it was hard. It was just like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to do. I'm telling you, every week I'd be like, you know what? I don't want to do this. I don't want to deal with this. And now that he's 7, it's just like, okay, that was a learning curve. My child does like to learn. Maybe he doesn't want to learn what I want him to learn, but he really does enjoy learning. He loves writing and reading. And I'm like, okay, so when we start 2nd grade, hopefully he'll be a little bit more mature to where we'll be able to have better experiences in school. And plus I want to expose him to other classes. Like I want to get him into like science classes and robotics classes. And I do have a homeschool community as well. But yeah, like the homeschooling, what I'm doing right now is more like the worksheets, because I want him to be able to use his hand and write. It's a part of development. And I really love the worksheets. Like I love that. And at some point we'll do more technology learning, like on the computer. But no, I want to get him off of the screens and teach him that way, and then get him a part of a community in different classes to be around other people. Well, let me tell you something. It was hard. Oh, I hated it. Oh, I hated it so much. And so that's why I'm like, people be thinking they be so idealistic about life until you do it, and you be like, oh my gosh, I used to dream of homeschooling my child and being a full-time mom, and it is hard. It's not it wasn't easy. It's really hard. Now the older he's getting, like it's easier. It's getting easier, but it has been hard over the years. It really has. You wished you homeschooled your children? Yeah. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I try. Like I try to be a good. I'm learn. It's something you have to learn. It's not something that you're born with. You're not born to be. You're not born as a good parent. It's something like you have to learn on the job. Like just like your child has to learn how to be a human, you got to learn how to parent the human, and then also be present to yourself and be present to your child. And then if you're in a relationship, you got to also be present to that. And so I know that my life that I've created for myself is a part of my purpose, because it's like I've learned so much. I learned so much about myself, about being in a relationship, about being a mother, about children. I've learned so much, y'all, and it has not been easy. It hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy. Yeah. Yeah, for real. I will tell y'all that right now. It has not been easy, but now the more that I'm learning about myself and the more that I'm learning about what love is, now things are starting to get easier. They're starting to get easier for me. Nothing has changed, but I have changed. And that's what I had said when I went home to my family after 10 years. Oh, nothing has changed with these people. They still exactly who they are. But I have changed. Okay. And that has been the most empowering thing for me, is to see how I'm changing and how I'm evolving, but not for the benefit of anyone else, but the benefit of me, you know. Yeah, I hope so. Jay, I don't know how to pronounce it. Jay Chrysler. Yeah, I mean, I hope so, but if it don't, I'm prepared for that as well. Because parents love to say they did the best that they can. Okay, well maybe your best wasn't good enough. Maybe your best was what was not required. Maybe they needed something beyond your best, okay? And so you can consider that, and then maybe, you can be understand where they're coming from, and then y'all can meet each other halfway. Like, I'm doing the best that I can, but I'm gonna let you know right now, my best, I've fallen short many times in my best. Okay. JC Racel. You know what I'm saying? And that's also why I want to start guiding people in their parenting, like adult child and parenting relationship, is because it's like I've been there, done that. And if I can heal and forgive my mama, I know you can, and that looks different for everyone. Forgiveness looks different for everyone. But then also, now that I'm a parent, I can understand the side of the parent. But because I was a child, I could understand the side of the child. So, and I think that's what any adversity needs amongst people, is understanding. Do you have the ability to understand someone's experience? Does not mean you have to agree, but do you have the ability to understand? And I realize most people don't. Most people do not have the ability to understand. They don't care. It's all about what they want, how they think, how they feel, and they don't have the ability to just understand where a person's coming from. Because a lot of times when you take the time to understand, you realize that it's actually not what you thought it was. Like, oh, that's what you was getting at. Like, you realize it had nothing to do with you at all. Like, and when you can give someone that, it lets their guard down. When you have the ability to understand someone, it lets their guard down. But I've learned that many people can't do that. It's a challenge for them. So, all right, y'all. So I want to get off of here, but yes, that's what I am manifesting and creating the next chapter of my life, and it's about, with all the things that I've learned and experienced now, what is my contribution? What does that look like? What service can I bring to the world based on who I am? Based on what I want and desire, and based on who I am, that contribution. So for me, it's still being of service, guiding people one-on-one, creating classes, courses, books, whatever, to help people's lives, help them navigate their darkness and turn it into light and appreciation for their experiences. Like, that's what I would love to give people, so they can be like, oh my gosh, I understand why I went through that. Thank you so much. Giving them that clarity that your life and your experience was perfect and it was beautiful. No matter the pain or whatever you went through, it was so beautiful because it was you creating the life that you want. And don't judge that maybe it's not like someone else's, but just know those were your ingredients, and it's what was required to you to become the person you are today, and the person that you were choosing to love and to contribute to the world. Like, that is what I am creating and moving towards. So thank you guys for listening and for being here, and I will talk to you soon.